My name is Angela Hall. I have taught at Athens Middle School for 34 years. I am the eighth grade social studies teacher at Athens Middle School. I also advise a history club, the Andrew Jackson Davison Club, and I love to collaborate with the Southeastern Ohio History Center to teach my students about sourcing. The state standard is to teach about primary and secondary sources and how they offer different perspectives on historical events. And there are textbook lessons on primary sources. I found some things online. They just don't make primary sources come to life for students. It's boring. There's not even a story that you can really tell to involve the students and make them more enthusiastic about learning. So through a conversation with you and all of the artifacts and documents that you have here at the Southeastern Ohio History Center, we thought we can do this. We can teach primary sources. And that led to a series of walking field trips to the center. It leads to great discussions and again, looking at different perspectives, a female perspective, a settler's perspective, indigenous people's perspective. So you are taking that standard from the state of Ohio and you're saying, let's do this with real documents and real maps. So that's our first session. And I love that. You move on to images and oh my gosh, that's probably, I can't say it's my favorite day, but they're all my favorite days. The students look at real World War I posters that are soliciting bonds, and they don't know anything about World War I, so they have no background knowledge. So they learn so much. And then, of course, our final session is probably, there are no words for it. We bring out the artifacts, real artifacts. A lot about another standard we have in eighth grade social studies about bias, about stereotypes. It leads to good conversations about those that exist in contempt. Makes students think about what they can do differently or better. Eighth graders experiment with words and with, their own biases. So it's good for them to see in historical context the impact of that. They have to think about the offensive nature of the symbolism, but they also have to think about preserving history. And if we just destroy it and act like it doesn't exist, do we grow? Do we do better? Do we reflect on past wrongs? So it's great conversations for eighth graders to be having. They're conversations that don't organically happen in my classroom. This creates that environment for critical thinking, if you will. I've taken some of my students, all my students come down here, but when I take the Andrew Jackson Davison Club to the Ohio University Archives and Special Collections, the archivists there are so impressed with their skill set, and that comes from this experience. Like they have told me that my students are better prepared to visit the archives than a lot of college freshmen. And that's because of this, because we do this with the students. For me, it's made me a different kind of teacher. I'm kind of up there in my career and have even thought about retirement, but you've allowed me to reinvent myself. I love that. Like, I've reinvented myself. I want to be more hands-on. I'm finding ways to collaborate with other community stakeholders. Invisible Ground has worked with us on projects. Andrew Chickey with the city takes the students on walking field trips so they can learn our local history. Mount Zion Preservation Society has brought projects into the school with the students. I can't think of them all right now, but that would have never happened had you and I not started to bring kids out for hands-on learning and just interacting with history instead of just reading about it.